If you've ever poured your heart into a garden bed only to watch plants struggle for no obvious reason, you're not alone. On Soil Stories, we talk a lot about the quiet problems beneath the surface, the ones you can't see until it's too late. Soil-borne diseases, stubborn weed seeds, root-eating pests, and lingering fungal spores don't announce themselves. They just quietly sabotage your harvest. Today I want to share one of the simplest, most powerful, and most underrated garden resets I know. It uses no chemicals, no expensive inputs, and no special tools. It relies on one thing nature gives freely and abundantly: the sun. This solar soil trick, known as soil solarization, can wipe out hidden bed problems fast and give your garden a clean, fertile restart. Once you understand how and why it works, you'll never look at an empty garden bed the same way again. Soil solarization is the practice of trapping solar heat in moist soil using clear plastic. The sun's rays pass through the plastic and heat the soil underneath, but the heat can't escape. Over several weeks, soil temperatures rise high enough to kill weed seeds, disease-causing fungi, nematodes, insect larvae, and other pests living in the top layers of the soil. This isn't guesswork or folklore. It's a proven technique used by organic farmers, market gardeners, and researchers worldwide. The magic, honestly, lies in temperature. Many soil pathogens and weed seeds die when exposed to sustained heat above 45 to 55 degrees Celsius, or about 113 to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Solarization can actually push soil temperatures into that lethal zone without harming the soil structure or beneficial minerals. What I love most is that this process doesn't sterilize the soil in a damaging way. Instead, it selectively knocks back the bad actors while setting the stage for beneficial microbes to return stronger once the plastic comes off. Most garden bed failures don't come from lack of fertilizer, they come from invisible pressure below ground. Solarization targets the exact issues that are hardest to fix once crops are planted. Persistent weeds are often the first win. Many weed seeds can survive for years in soil, just waiting for the right conditions. Solar heat destroys huge numbers of them before they ever sprout, drastically reducing weed pressure for the next season. Soil-borne diseases like damping off, fusarium, verticillium wilt, and certain bacterial pathogens are also highly sensitive to heat. If you've had tomatoes collapse mid-season or seedlings die suddenly, solarization can break that disease cycle. Root pests, such as nematodes, cutworms, wireworms, and grubs live right where solarization is most effective. The heat disrupts their life cycle and reduces populations without poisoning the soil. Even compacted, tired soil benefits. Heat speeds up organic matter breakdown, making nutrients more available once planting begins again. Timing matters. Solarization works best during the hottest, sunniest period of the year. This is usually late spring through peak summer, when days are long and sunlight is intense. The ideal moment is when a bed is empty or between crop rotations. Instead of letting a bed sit idle, you turn that downtime into a powerful reset. On Soil Stories, I often say that rest doesn't mean neglect. This is active rest for your soil. If you garden in a warm climate, even 4 to 6 weeks can make a noticeable difference. In cooler regions, 6 to 8 weeks is more reliable. The longer the soil stays hot, the deeper the effect. Preparation is where most people accidentally weaken the results. To solarize properly, the soil must be moist before covering. Moisture conducts heat far better than dry soil, allowing warmth to penetrate deeper. Start by removing old plants, roots, and debris. Break up large clods and level the surface. Then water the bed deeply. You want the soil damp several inches down, not muddy, but evenly moist. Once watered, cover the bed tightly with clear plastic. Clear plastic is essential. Black plastic blocks light but doesn't trap heat nearly as well. Stretch the plastic flat and secure the edges with soil, stones, or boards so no heat escapes. The tighter the seal, the higher the temperature climbs. This is where the real transformation begins. Within just a few days, soil temperatures rise dramatically during daylight hours. Over time, repeated heating creates cumulative stress that most soil pests and pathogens simply cannot survive. At the same time, something surprising happens. Beneficial organisms that tolerate heat or live deeper in the soil often survive, and when the plastic is removed, these beneficial microbes recolonize the upper layers quickly, often even faster than the harmful ones. This rebound effect is why solarized soil often performs better than untreated soil, not just cleaner. Plants grow stronger roots, show fewer disease symptoms and, access nutrients more efficiently. One of the biggest mistakes gardeners make is using thin plastic that tears or lifts in the wind. Even small air gaps can dramatically reduce effectiveness. So, yeah, it's important to choose sturdy, clear plastic and anchor it well. Another mistake is impatience. Removing the plastic too early really limits the depth and reliability of the treatment. If you're unsure, just leave it on longer. Extra time only increases results. Some gardeners worry solarization will kill all life in the soil, but in reality, the soil is far more resilient than we think. Life returns quickly, especially if you follow up with compost or mulch. When the treatment period ends, remove the plastic and let the soil breathe for a few days. Avoid deep tilling, which can bring surviving weed seeds or pathogens from deeper layers back to the surface. This is the perfect moment to add compost worm castings or aged manure. The soil is primed to absorb nutrients and beneficial microbes will flourish. Planting into freshly solarized soil often feels different. The soil is softer, warmer, and more responsive. Many gardeners report faster germination and stronger early growth. On Soil Stories, we believe in working with nature, not overpowering it. Solarization uses natural energy to solve natural problems. There's no chemical residue, no long-term damage, and no dependency on purchased inputs. It's also deeply empowering. You're not reacting to problems after they appear. You're preventing them before they start. That shift alone can transform how you garden. This method is especially valuable for gardeners dealing with recurring failures in the same beds. Instead of blaming seeds, weather, or luck, you reset the system at its foundation. Once you try solarization, it becomes part of your long-term garden rhythm. Beds that struggled for years can be reclaimed. New garden areas can be prepared without chemicals. Even small spaces benefit, from raised beds to greenhouse plots. This isn't a one-time hack. It's an evergreen skill, one that gets better the more you understand your soil, your climate, and your timing. Healthy gardens start below the surface. When you solve hidden soil problems, everything above ground becomes easier. This solar soil trick is proof that the most powerful solutions are often the simplest ones. If this story helped you see your garden differently, share it with another gardener who's struggling with unexplained bed problems. And if you want more real, grounded soil wisdom, make sure you subscribe to Soil Stories. Together we'll keep uncovering the forgotten techniques that turn ordinary soil into living, productive ground. Soil Stories and Dapper Maya, Adomo Babain Dam.